right. Hey guys, Mr. Kyle, Myers Mathematics, and let's just jump right back into it. I was like sick over the last couple weeks. I was MIA, but we're back. And we're working on number 2 of the systems of equations word problems. And here we go. So I already kind of did a little bit of note taking here. The difference of two numbers is 3. Their sum is 13. So it doesn't matter what you call the two numbers, but since you don't know what they are, you can't just guess. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to do a guess and check method, but that's a whole nother story. If you wanted to set it up the way your teacher probably wants you to, then you need to just call them something. You don't know what the numbers are, but they need to be called something. You can call them pretty much whatever you want, but typically you would call them either x and y or a and b. So I'm going to just say a and b. So the difference, and it doesn't really matter which one you put first. It could be a minus b or b minus a. I know that a minus b does not equal b minus a, but they aren't specifying which one's the bigger one in this problem. So it really doesn't matter. Don't overthink it. You can just do a minus b. A minus b. Difference of two numbers, a minus b, is means equals, right? 3, right? Then for the other equation, there, meaning the two numbers, sum, so we're adding, is 13. Find the numbers. And again, it just says find the numbers. So don't overthink it. All we're doing is just trying to figure out what's A and what's B. And these are actually already perfectly set up for elimination method. If I just put this here, excuse me. Basically, the reason why I can do this, if you've ever wondered why systems of equations stuff even works, or elimination specifically here, the reason why I can do this is because since a plus b is equal to 13, I'm just adding 13 on both sides. You can add whatever you want to both sides. I could add 13 to both sides right now if I wanted to. Then it would be a plus b plus 13 equals 13 plus 13. Right? I can just do that if I want to. Because in an equation, you can do whatever you want as long as you do it evenly to both sides. So if I'm doing this, then I'm essentially adding 13 on the left and adding 13 on the right of my equation here. I'm adding 13 on the left, and I'm adding 13 on the right. A plus A is 2A. Negative B plus B would cancel for any value of B, right? Negative 2 plus 2, negative 3 plus 3. 3 plus 13 is 16. And now I just need to solve for A by dividing by 2. So A would be equal to 8. Right? So we've got 1/2 of the answer, and then we just plug it back in to get the other half. And that's why I always list my equations side by side, by the way. So I highly, highly, highly recommend doing that. List your equations initially side by side, not stacked, because they don't always stack. Like these did, but they don't always stack. So in the case where they don't stack nicely automatically, write them next to each other first. It makes the work really nice and neat and organized too, which teachers like to see, but then also it does help you to be more likely to get the correct answer. So do that. And then we would just minus 8 on both sides. 13 minus 8 is going to be 5. And then, speaking of having everything nice and neat here, so there's two columns. There's the yellow equation that we put here initially and the blue equation that we put here initially. We just recently got B by plugging it into the blue equation. If you want to double check, if you want to, well, not really double check, just a single check because we didn't really check anything yet. If you want to check, you check with the equation you didn't just recently use. We just recently used the blue one, so we would use the yellow equation to check. And we would plug in our letters, plug in the numbers into our letters that we solved for. So A is 8, b is 5. And yeah, that looks like that works. 8 minus 5 is 3. So we are good to go. And that's all you need to do to check. You just plug it into the equation you did not most recently use. So typically that would be, the oldest equation, whatever equation you used first when you first, listed it out or whatever. Um, However you want to think about it, but this would be how you would do it and how to quickly check it to be really, really sure that you have the right answer. And that's actually it for this one. We're just going to do one at a time here. So, obviously that was helpful, and all that kind of stuff. But I have extra resources if you want to see them up on my website, myersmathematics.com. You can check that out in the description below. One of them is called The 5 Math Mistakes That Everyone Makes and How to Avoid Them. So you can check that out. I've also got like courses on math topics and things like that, SAT prep and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of SAT prep, if you are looking for SAT prep tutoring, I believe I have my email in the description below as well, and you can shoot me an email and we can set something up that way also. So if any of that interests you, go check that out. But if not, I will catch y'all in the next video. Have a good one. Blessings.